All right, so we're just out for a little ride here. I figured I'd stop and let the bike cool for a second. Not that it's getting warm or anything, it's just nice. Want to appreciate the view. You know, a few things I guess I could go over. You know, I've had the bike about 2 weeks now. I came from an 86 Honda Shadow, which, you know, is meant to be more of a cruiser bike, but it really has the you know, a sporty feel to it just because of the size. It sits really high off the ground. The 6-speed goes through the gears pretty quick. You know, it's kind of in between when Honda was, you know, figuring out cruisers but didn't really have it dialed in like, you know, you can get with like the newer VLXs or even, you know, the 750s. 500 was, you know, kind of a mix. But, you know, I got this a couple weeks ago. It was a Yamaha Vstar 650 98, all stock. Had about 9,500 miles on it. Man, just look at that view. Getting distracted. But it's my first, you know, actual cruiser. And I went with this over the 1100. Just, you know, my dad drives an 1100 and they feel wide. You know, I've rode his a few times and it just sits pretty wide. And I don't know if it's just my size. You know, I'm 5'9", 5'10", weigh about 200. You know, I just didn't feel like I really had as much control over it as I did this. You know, it's a nimble bike. It spins. It you know, takes the corners really well, but it just felt like it was a little top heavy. And so one thing I gotta say with the 650 is, you know, I don't have any of those kind of issues. It sits down, it grips the road, it responds really well. But, you know, taking the curves and turns out where I live, kind of up in the hills here in Oregon, it does a really good job. It handles great, so there's nothing to really complain about there. It is a 650, so, you know, you're only going to get so much speed out of it, but, you know, it keeps up with anything else that I've been on the road. I don't get on the freeway much. You know, we have some highways, so I don't feel like I'm really maxing it out, getting up with traffic speeds. You know, it was a stock bike when I got it. The tires were a little worn, so I decided to go with the white walls. These are Shinko 777s. I'm just actually taking my first trip out with it while they're on. And I gotta say, you know, they're pretty solid. Well, actually, I did ride to work last week, right after I got them on. But it was pretty rainy, so I was taking it easy. But it felt really comfortable in the wet weather, you know, and rain on the ground. I didn't have any worry about slipping or anything in the rain. I'm probably gonna do a little customization. I got a sissy bar for when I take the kid out for a ride. I just think it looks really sleek without it, so I like to keep it off most of the time. Gonna be going with, you know, either an Ultimate or a Mustang seat, just because this rear seat here is just, there's not a lot of seat to it, so the vibrations you really feel. So, you know, if you have someone you want to ride two up with or anything like that, that's definitely one thing to consider. You know, I put a little set of speakers on here, just some budget ones from AutoZone. They were about 80 bucks. And, you know, so far, you know, even at highway speeds, they sound pretty good. I get lots of sound out of them. You know, I guess, you know, biggest thing a lot of people don't like about the bike is exhaust. You know, it's fairly quiet with the stock ones, but mine, I'm not sure if it's just I got lucky or something. All the baffles are in, but, you know, I have no problem hearing it. You know, even when I'm riding behind my my dad on his 1100, You know, mine drowns him out. So, you know, I don't have too many plans to mess with the exhaust system yet. You know, once I get a little more miles out of it, I might, you know, do like a pod kit, and get rid of the air box. But, you know, at this time I really don't need it, I don't think. Yeah, I just figured, you know, this is a nice place to pull over for a second, chat about the bike. Once I get a road mic, I'll probably do a little more commentary while I'm out riding. As it sits right now, I just don't have the mic, and so I don't know how well it's gonna pick up with all the wind noise. As you can see here, we're kind of out in some farmlands. Got a berry field, wheat field. Looks like some corn probably behind me. Maybe beans, I'm not sure. But, you know, I ride a lot in these farmlands or up in the mountains back over there where I live. You know, and getting used to just cruising at faster speeds, you know, out of town riding. It's been really nice. You know, you don't have to worry about a lot of people. You can slow down when you need to, or you feel you need to check something, or just to kind of get your bearings straight again. So, you know, if you are in the city but you do have the option to get out on the highway at some point, I definitely recommend doing that. Not to mention, you know, early mornings, late afternoons, it's just beautiful out here. You can't beat the views. You get the golden sunset coming down, and just makes it a really pretty ride. Get some great photos of your bike. Yeah, you know, so that's my Vstar, and you know, as I keep going, we'll be venturing a little further out, getting some good recordings, and just kind of showing you guys where I like to ride, and, you know, sharing some of the views for maybe those who can't, or are looking at getting a bike, or, you know, live up where the weather's not as forgiving and your riding season's a lot smaller. So yeah, hope you guys are all having a good time, staying safe, and we'll chat with you later. All right, thanks.